Hello, friends, and welcome back. If you are new here, I'm really glad you found your way into my kitchen today. This is for your heart and home, where we slow things down and make nourishing food from scratch using simple tools and ingredients that work for everyday life. Today we're making calzone dough in the bread machine using freshly milled hard white wheat flour and a little vital wheat gluten to give that dough the strength and stretch it needs. Don't worry, this recipe works for all-purpose flour as well, so if that's what you have on hand, feel free to use that. The dough I'm making today is based on a classic pizza dough, but we're using it to make 6 calzones today, which is perfect for family dinners or if you have leftovers in the fridge for later in the week. This is something that is a go-to recipe that can be easily adapted with whatever ingredients you want to include. If you're newer to a bread machine or using freshly milled flour, don't worry, I'll walk you through the steps of how to create this dough in your bread machine. So since I'm using freshly milled flour, the first thing I'm going to do is to mill my wheat berries. I'm again using hard white wheat for this, and so I'm going to mill approximately 3 cups of wheat berries for this recipe. While my mill is going, I'm going to be adding 1 cup of room temperature water to my bread machine pan. Additionally, I will be adding about 3/4 of a teaspoon of honey, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 tablespoons of neutral oil. I'm using avocado oil, but right here actually olive oil would probably be a better choice, but I don't have that on hand, so I'm going to be using avocado oil, but feel free to use olive oil in place of that. I will be adding vital wheat gluten to my mix, and for every cup of flour that I'm going to use, I will use 1 tablespoon of vital wheat gluten. So for the 3 cups of flour that is milling right now, I'm going to add the 3 tablespoons of vital wheat gluten. Again, I'm adding this because the additional gluten will give the dough the structure it needs to create these calzones. Then I will add the flour that was just milled, and after that I will add about 1 3/4 teaspoons of yeast. You can use active yeast here, you can use instant yeast, or you can use bread machine yeast. Once all my ingredients are in my bread pan, I will move over to my bread machine and I will lock in my pan. I'm using a Cuisinart convection model bread machine, and here's a look at what I'm using here on the screen. So like in all my bread machine recipes, I like to caution, if this is your first time watching my bread machine video, always stay close to your machine for the first 5 or 10 minutes. I go in with a spatula and I usually have up to half a cup more water to drizzle in. Since I'm using freshly milled flour, my flour absorbs water differently than all-purpose flour. So I'm going to stay next to my machine. I'm going to help my machine with a spatula to bring this dough together. And when I see that I have a nice smooth ball, then I can walk away and do something else. My bread machine takes about 1.5 hours to pull this dough together. It's going to knead, it's going to pull it together, it's going to do the first rise, which takes a lot of guesswork off of my plate. So whichever bread machine you're using, you're going to put in your bread pan and you're going to put your bread machine on the dough cycle. For me, that's option 9, but for you, it might be something different. So you're staying next to your bread machine for 2 reasons. You want to keep checking on that dough. If your dough looks really dry and crumbly, you feel free to drizzle in some water, a tablespoon at a time, until you get that nice dough. If it's too wet, then you can sprinkle in bits of flour to help absorb that extra water. You don't want an overly hydrated dough, but you don't want an underhydrated dough either. So you have to be there to monitor for the first 5 or 10 minutes just to ensure that the dough comes together nicely. Once I'm happy with the dough consistency, I will close my bread machine top and I will walk away. The bread machine takes care of everything at that point. So now that my dough is ready, it is time to use our dough to make these calzones. The first thing you want to do is to preheat your oven. You're going to preheat your oven to 450 degrees. Then you're going to line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Feel free to lightly oil it with whatever neutral oil you like to use. Next, we're going to prepare the dough. I will be dividing the dough into 6 individual portions. You guys, you know perfection does not live here, but if you want to, you can pull out your kitchen scale and you can weigh your dough and then divide it into however many pieces you want to evenly. On this lightly floured surface, I am going to stretch out each portion to about 6 or 8 inch circle. On a lightly floured surface, I am going to roll or stretch my dough out until it's about a 6 or 8 inch circle. Now for the fun part, we're going to add the fillings. We're going to place the fillings in 1/2 only of the dough, and we're going to leave about an inch of space around the edges so that we can seal these properly. You can fill this with whatever your heart desires. You can put whatever cheese you want or whatever meats and veggies you have on hand. For this, I'm going to be using mozzarella and pepperoni. Classic pizza toppings. But feel free to use veggies like spinach, mushrooms, or even onions. Just make sure that your filling is not watery. You also have the option to add sauce here, or you can add your sauce on the side. For me, I will not be putting any sauce in the calzones. I'm just going to use my cheese and my pepperoni, and I'll have the sauce on the side for anyone who wants it. We're going to sprinkle this with some salt and pepper, and if you have Italian seasoning, you can do that as well. Do not be tempted to overfill these calzones because we don't want them to break apart when they're baking in the oven. Now that this is filled, we're going to fold the empty half of the dough over and create a half moon shape. We're going to press the edges together firmly and crimp with a fork, or you can roll the edges over like this to create a seal unto itself.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The glass so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
The next step is very important. You want to vent your calzones. So I'm going to use a knife to cut about 2 or 3 small slits at the top of each calzone. This lets steam escape and prevents the whole thing from bursting open in the oven. The next step is optional. You can brush the tops of your filled calzones with olive oil or an egg wash. You can sprinkle on some garlic powder or Italian seasoning or even some grated Parmesan. For me, I'm going to skip this step, but feel free to brush on whatever toppings you like at this step. Finally, we're going to place these in our prepared oven that was preheating, and we're going to bake for 12 to 18 minutes until we see that golden brown on top and it's crispy on the bottom. And so this is what it looks like after it has baked. You want to let these rest for at least 5 minutes because it is super hot inside. But let it rest for about 5 minutes before serving. And for this, you can have some warmed marinara sauce for dipping for anybody who wants to dip their calzones. Now, just a few quick notes. You can add as much filling as you want, but again, you don't want to overstuff your calzones because we don't want them to burst open in the oven. You can also put a little bit of cornmeal on the bottom so that you get that bakery style crust. And you can always finish with fresh basil after it has baked. I love these calzones because they are just an easy to make item that comes together quickly in our kitchens for those really busy nights. This is one of those doughs that becomes a staple once you try it. It's sturdy, it's flexible, and it works beautifully with freshly milled flour. Again, this also works for all-purpose flour. This works also if you want to do a half and half. If you want to skip the vital wheat gluten and you want to do a blended mix of all-purpose and freshly milled flour, feel free to do that. This is possible with pretty much any pizza dough recipe that you come up with because it's a classic dough, but you can customize this to your liking. You can add fresh garlic, you can add garlic powder, you can add all sorts of things to the dough once you've had a handle on how to make these on your own. I will leave the instructions and the recipe card here on the screen for you so that you can have that at your disposal. If you have any questions, if you make this recipe, I would love to hear how it turned out for you. Leave a comment down in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if this has been helpful. This video brings us to the end of January and the end of the Bread Machine series. If you enjoyed this series, please let me know in the comment section. And let me know if there's something else that you would need help with in your kitchen. Maybe there's another kitchen tool that you'd like to see me spend a month showing you new recipes for. If you like this new style of content, I would also love to hear from you in the comment section down below. If this kind of from scratch cooking is something you enjoy, I would love for you to stick around, hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and let me know how this worked out for you. Thank you so much for spending time with me in my kitchen today. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.